If you're here to listen to me, Jane Valderama, update you on late-breaking news stories, then you're in for the same disappointment I have at my forcibly signed contract with the Zin. Instead, here is another song. Stay tuned for another exciting track guaranteed to fill your body with the rhythmic, pounding beats of the raver generation. This is Jane Valderama reporting your music on K12 Radio. Pop, reggae, rock, and classical. Some people like such music, and some want something with a dropped beat. That's why you're listening to K12 Radio. This is Jane Valderama for K12 Radio, giving you exciting music instead of accurate, unbiased news. Techno, dubstep, electronica, and future funk. All music played here on K12 Radio by me, Jane Valderama. You're listening to K12 Radio, and up next is something that made it past Zinyak censors. This is Jane Valderama, and I desperately want some real news to report. This is Jane Valderama, and the culture of human creativity and inspiration lives on here at K12 Radio. With Zinyak's laws against anti-Zin news, this is Jane Valderama for K12 Radio bringing you a beat to dance to, instead of the beating that occurred this morning at a local dance establishment. There is important late-breaking news, and there is music radio. One I would like to be reporting, and one I am. This is Jane Valderama, and this is another hit on K12 Radio. Here's another song for the midnight rave that carries this generation forward. I'm Jane Valderama for K12 Radio. Zinyak forbids the news, but he can't forbid the music. I'm Jane Valderama, and you're listening to K12 Radio. K12 Radio, playing the songs that continue to pound in your head long after they end. The radio, often thought killed by other entertainment mediums, sees its resurgence with the tyrannical lockdown of television stations by Overlord Zinyak. So here is another song brought to you by K12 Radio. It's time now for another song to bring a spring to your step and a thump to your chest. I'm Jane Valderama, and this is K12 Radio. This is Jane Valderama for K12 Radio, reporting the songs as they are played. You have just heard Prophecies by Alex Metric, while I, Jane Valderama, have been forced to sit here in a cramped, filthy studio reporting on nothing of substance to the world at large. Like the wise men of old, predicting the outcome of our lives, this is Alex Metric with Prophecies on K12 Radio. Direct from London, Alex Metric has captured our ears and our hearts by weaving an auditory tapestry with his hit, Prophecies. That was Prophecies, a song which, sadly, did not predict the invasion of our beloved Earth by aliens from outer space. This is Jane Valderama, and you're listening to K12 Radio. When your mother tells you that fruits are good for your body, remember, they can be good for your ears as well. Here is Eat My Apple on K12 Radio. That was Apache, offering us all a taste of the apple, an offer never to be given by our conquering tyrannical overlord, Zinyak. This is Jane Valderama, and you're listening to K12 Radio. Like a harmless old hag offering a seemingly innocuous gift to an unsuspecting fair maiden, this is Apache with Eat My Apple, only on K12 Radio. I'm Jane Valderama, and you've just heard Eat My Apple by Apache, only on K12 Radio. Like the smugglers of old, bringing illegal liquor and imports to the miserable citizens, that was Datsik brightening the human race's day with his song Bonafide Hustler, only on K12 Radio. That was Canadian artist Datsik, only on K12 Radio, and though Canada may be forever changed by the ravages of the Zin Empire, we thank them for their contribution to the dubstep world. What does it take to be a bona fide hustler? According to the artist Datsik, only enough wub-wubs to get your body vibrating in time with the music. I'm Jane Valderama, and you're listening to K12 Radio. Gangsters, hustlers, and dubstep. Three things which can terrify or inspire the average human being. Here on K12, we let you, our listeners, decide. This is Datsik with Bonafide Hustler. Italian food, UFOs, and creatures from the depths of hell. All these things came together with a beat in that last song by Dr. P. You're listening to Jane Valderama on K12 Radio. You've just listened to the dubstep of Dr. P here on K12 Radio. I'm Jane Valderama, and after this very dry martini, we'll continue with our broadcast. Some doctors heal the sick. Some help us come to terms with our broken childhoods, and some lay down fat beats. This is Dr. P with Flying Spaghetti Monster on K12 Radio. In a world where monsters and aliens are real, Flying Spaghetti Monster by Dr. P will at least take the people's minds off the dictatorship that is the Zin Empire. This is Jane Valderama for K12 Radio. You've just been listening to Poppin' Off, a great song by the group Watch the Duck, a not-so-great idea towards the Zin. Trap step. The combination of trap music and dubstep makes up the sound of this next artist, Watch the Duck. I'm Jane Valderama, and this is Poppin' Off, only on K12 Radio. The state of Georgia. Known for its peaches, its use in famous movies, and its musical artists. Here is Watch the Duck with their song, Poppin' Off. Whether instructional or simply allegorical, that was Poppin' Off by Watch the Duck. I'm Jane Valderama, and this is K12 Radio. All the way from Italy, that was Congorock with Ivory. This is Jane Valderama on K12 Radio. When one thinks of the Congo, images of jungles, landscapes, and exotic animals spring to mind. Listening to Ivory by Congorock is just as vivid on the imagination, only on K12 Radio. Though hunting the majestic elephant for its ivory is looked down upon by most countries, the song Ivory is something to be embraced by the people of Earth. I'm Jane Valderama, and this is Ivory by Congorock. Capturing the spirit of that last song in one word is as futile as expecting unbiased information from an alien overlord who conquered your planet. However, Congorock did it by calling it Ivory. Perhaps there is hope on K12 Radio yet. The majestic giraffe. A tall herbivore wandering the savannas and grasslands of Africa, never to be seen again thanks to the Zin. This is Giraffe by Junkie XL here on K12 Radio. And now for your beep boop pleasure. Here's Junkie XL with Giraffe. I'm Jane Valderama, and you're listening to K12 Radio. You've just heard Junkie XL, direct from the Netherlands, with his song titled Giraffe. This is K12 Radio, and I'm Jane Valderama. I'm Jane Valderama, and that was Giraffe by Junkie XL. Surprisingly, that song seems to have very little to do with my spirit animal. While my talent for bringing you the latest and greatest news from the city of Steelport sits rotting in this studio, instead I bring you the Knox and Fred Falk with Geronimo. For a city desperate to escape the tyrannical control of alien soldiers, here is the Knox and Fred Falk with Geronimo. I'm Jane Valderama, bringing you inspiration from K12 Radio. That was the song titled Geronimo. I'm Jane Valderama, and I'm taking a leap of faith here on K12 Radio. You have been listening to the musical collaboration of the Knox and Fred Falk here on K12 Radio. That was the song Geronimo. Intergalactic War. It makes even the most courageous among us think of getting their affairs in order. And when picking a title for a left-behind autobiography, look only to our next song, All My Life, here on K12 Radio. Lives thrown into disarray at the arrival of the Zin have little to look forward to. All My Life by Gigamesh is one of those bright spots in an otherwise bleak and hopeless existence. Here it is on K12 Radio. That was multi-platinum artist Gigamesh with All My Life, and this is award-winning news reporter Jane Valderama, reduced to reporting song titles. That was All My Life by Gigamesh on K12 Radio. I'm Jane Valderama, and the rest of my life is now owned by the Zin. While Nero just brought us Promises, Zinyak, however, has kept none of his. This is Jane Valderama crying herself to sleep at night. A trio from the UK. Nero warns us of the very real danger of making yourself wasted promises. I'm Jane Valderama, and this is K12 Radio. Promises. Some are meant to be kept, others broken. This is Nero telling us the difference on K12 Radio. I'm Jane Valderama, and that was Nero with Promises. You're listening to K12 Radio. The electric sounds of Kill Paris have given me the desire to rapidly turn on and off the lights here at the K12 studio. This is Jane Valderama, and I'm throwing myself a rave. That was Slap Me by Kill Paris, a title that can land you in hot water if said to patrolling Zin. The future is bleak for the human race, but future funk is still going strong. This is Kill Paris with Slap Me here on K12 Radio. When requesting Slap Me, be sure to specify that it is a song by the artist Kill Paris. Your face will thank you. I'm Jane Valderama, and this is K12 Radio. As the song said, blow the roof off this place. If anyone out there is listening, please take heed and follow Flux Pavilion's directions. Mass destruction, usually perpetrated by hoodlums and hooligans, is not often idolized in polite society. However, in the Zin Empire, polite is no longer a concern. Here is Blow the Roof by Flux Pavilion on K12 Radio. Is it possible that was an instructional song on how to stop Zinyak? Only time will tell. This is Jane Valderama, and you've just heard Blow the Roof on K12 Radio. Royalty, fish and chips, and now Flux Pavilion. All associated with the UK, and one of them brought to you here on K12 Radio. I'm Jade Valderama, and this is Blow the Roof. If someone wants to know where it all began, they would only need listen to the source, here on K12 Radio. Keeping the club feeling alive and supporting artists that wear masks, that was the Bloody Beetroots with The Source. I'm Jane Valderama, and you're listening to K12 Radio. The Bloody Beetroots. Italian-born, Italian electro sound, and now playing on K12 Radio. The Source. A place where some things begin, where other things end, and the title of that last song. This is Jane Valderama for K12 Radio. With a beat that can shake even the most stalwart classical music fan, Datsik and Excision bring dubstep to your ears with Vindicate. I'm Jane Valderama, and this is K12 Radio. When Zinyak conquered Earth, little did he know the power he would bring to his people with the syncopated rhythms, the wubs, and the bass dropping of dubstep. I'm Jane Valderama, and that was Vindicate on K12 Radio. Dubstep. Is this sound meant to be simply heard, or to be felt down to your body's core? Either way you experience it, here is Datsik and Excision with Vindicate, only on K12 Radio. Will dubstep become the official music of the Zin Empire? If Datsik and Excision have anything to say about it, the answer will be yes. You've just heard Vindicate on K12 Radio. From the underground to the mainstream, that was Vitalic with Stamina, here on K12 Radio. Both a beat you can dance to, and the will to keep dancing. That was Stamina, only on K12 Radio. Staying power and endurance. 2 things which allow athletes to push themselves to their limits, and 2 things which describe this next song by Vitalic, titled Stamina. France. A country with fine food, fine wine, and fine electronic music. I'm Jane Valderama for K12 Radio, and this is Vitalic with Stamina.